All right, good evening. Welcome to the Falls Township Board of Supervisors meeting for Monday, May 16th. We'll begin with a salute to the flag, please. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mr. Galloway, can you take the roll, please?
Yes. Aaron Mullen.
Here.
John Palmer.
Here.
Jeff Baraski. Jeff Dents.
Here.
And I am here.
All right, let the record show that Mr. Baraski had a family commitment and he won't be here tonight. And we'll begin with item number 1, public comment. Do we have any public comment needed?
We have no public comment online.
And none in person. All right. Item number 2, certificate of appropriateness, 39 Lower Morrisville Road. This is pretty straightforward. They're replacing the roof on an asphalt roof on a house. Are there any questions from board members? Ms. Mullen?
No.
Mr. Galloway?
No questions.
Mr. Palmer?
No questions.
Do you have anything, Mr. Takita? No questions. All right. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Public comment.
Aye.
Oh, is there any public comment needed? I'm sorry. No. Motion made and seconded.
No public comment online.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Item number 3, certificate of appropriateness, 70 Old Locust Avenue, demolish an existing house and rebuild a 2-story single-family dwelling. I don't think we've ever done one of this. This was unanimously approved by the Harbor Board. Are there any questions from board members, Ms. Mullen?
No.
Mr. Galloway?
No questions.
Mr. Palmer? I think you're muted, Mr. Palmer.
How's that?
That's better.
The only question I have, do they have permission from the historical powers to be? Because this is one of the older houses.
Yeah, that's on the 3rd page. It was unanimously approved.
Okay, yeah, I just wasn't sure with the demolished part.
Any other questions or comments? Any public comment needed?
No public comment online.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor? Aye. None opposed. All right. Item number 3. Oh, I'm sorry, that was 3. Item number 4, Grand Affair Party Rentals, waiver of land development, 651 Trenton Road. This is another one that's pretty straightforward. This is on West Trenton Road. It looks like it's an old Bell telephone building. I believe it was at one point. But you can go ahead and take us through this.
Yeah, sure. Can you hear me okay?
Sure.
Kim Smith from Begley, Carlin, and Mandio, here on behalf of the applicant, Grand Affair Party Rentals. We're here tonight for preliminary and final approval of our land use application. Like you said, this property is located along West Trenton Avenue. On the property, there's an existing very small brick building. My client, the applicant, purchased the property back in 2019 and has considerably cleaned it up. And now he would like to build a 3,190 square foot addition for the business. It will solely be used for storage, so tables, chairs, and the like. This location will not be open to the public. Therefore, there won't be any customers or full-time employees, just storage for the party rental business. To take you through a little bit of the procedural history, we received variance relief from the Zoning Hearing Board last year, as well as recommended approval from the Planning Commission. And since then, we have made some recommended changes to the site plan, but we're ready to go forward now, which is why we're here. There was a resolution that was prepared for tonight. It was signed by Mr. Metz, the business owner, and submitted to the township for 2 waivers. And at this time, I'm happy to go over the waivers, or if you have any questions for Mr. Metz or I, we would be happy to answer them.
Okay, we can start with The only waivers are for the driveway, correct?
No, well, we have one waiver, it's for a parking setback, and then the other waiver is a partial waiver, not to provide details of all the existing features within 200 feet of the property.
Got you. Okay, so it's pretty straightforward. We'll start with board members. Do you have any questions, Ms.
No,
Mullen?
you answered them, thank you.
Mr. Galloway, do you have any questions?
No, it's straightforward.
Mr. Palmer?
No questions.
Mr. Jones, do you have anything to add?
Not at this time.
All right, and will you be parking vehicles there overnight? No vehicles parked overnight?
No.
And this is pretty much, he does party rentals, tents and tables and chairs and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's pretty straightforward. It's in a unusual location too. There's not much around you. You have anything to add, Mr. Takita? All right, is there any public comment needed?
No public comment online.
All right, and this is resolution number
16.
16. I was going to say 14. Is there a motion to approve resolution 2022-16?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Good
Have a
luck.
good evening.
Sure, thank you.
You too. It was nice. We're used to Mr. McGinnis here. It was nice seeing Ms. Smith for a change. Oh, I didn't see him back there. I didn't see you come in, Mr. McGinnis.
We'll send Kim every time going forward.
That's fine.
Mr. Dents?
Yes, sir.
We did have public comment on item number 3. Can we go back to,
Yes. What, was it late coming in? Did I not ask for public comment?
You asked for public comment.
Okay. All right, go, you can bring them on now?
Is it all right if I start providing my public comment?
Yes, state your name for the record, please.
Sure. My name is Kristen Swanton.
Okay,
I'm a historic preservation specialist, and I also live and work in historic Fallsington.
okay,
And I'm very familiar with the property located at 70 Locust Avenue.
okay.
Oppose the demolition of this historic property that would be and may be a contributing property within historic Fallsington, which is a historic district listed on both the state and national register of historic places. I have not had the opportunity to review the application, but based on my knowledge of historic properties, it does not appear that demolition is necessary, and I would like to hear more information from the applicant that demonstrates why they can't make the repairs that can be done for this property.
Okay, well, this was approved unanimously by the Historical Review Board. I don't know, was that meeting advertised? I assume neighbors had to be notified of this, or no?
The meeting itself, I don't believe is advertised, or if it is, it's at the beginning of the year in one swoop. I don't believe that we require
Okay.
notifications to neighbors, but.
Well, there's no one from the applicant here. This was approved by the Historical Review Board, Architectural Review Board of Falls Township on May 4th. And that's 3 members that all live in Fallsington.
I disagree with their recommendation. I
Okay.
personally think that the property has good integrity and that the repairs can be made, especially for the price in which the house was purchased. And as a contributing property to the historic district, I don't believe that demolition is the only option for the new homeowner.
All right.
Lauren, how does that work with after we already taken the vote when public comment didn't come in?
So I believe that there was I think that we missed that on the Zoom public comment. If the board is of a mind to go back and retake the vote or table this matter for further consideration, you can certainly do so. There hasn't been anything sent out to the applicant yet.
Well, I would like to make a motion to table it, and with this information that I just heard, I would definitely like to hear more details on this.
All right, when there's no second to that motion, is it die?
If there's no second to the motion, then the motion would fail.
All right. So this has already been approved, ma'am, I'm sorry.
My understanding is you guys are the final
Yes.
vote. The HARB makes the recommendation to you,
Correct.
and the decision is made here.
Correct. Anything else?
It's just unfortunate that another historic property has to be demolished.
All right, thank you for your comment. Is that it then? Any more public comment needed?
No public comment on this item.
All right, that takes us to number 5. HIOSSEN, preliminary and final land development, 85 Ben Fairless Drive.
Good evening. Good evening, Andrew Stoll for the applicant. With me here tonight is Todd Baldwin, the applicant's engineer. The property at issue is 85 Ben Fairless Drive. The property as it exists today is located in the MPM zoning district. It's almost entirely impervious surface with the applicant, and it is improved with an existing building. The building is used for dental implants and manufacturing and associated space. What the applicant is proposing is shown on this rendering here. It's essentially a building addition with vast improvements to the property. The applicant is proposing to add significant green space and a walking trail around the property to make the property not just aesthetically pleasing, but vastly improve what will be a great facility. The resolution was circulated. It was signed by the applicant and provided to the township. There were 2 waivers that were required as part of the project. They are part of the resolution. The use is permitted in the MPM zoning district, and it is fully compliant. With that, I can offer up Mr. Baldwin for any questions, and myself likewise.
Okay, what were the waivers you're requesting?
Two waivers from subdivision and land development were requested. The first waiver was Saldo 191-62-B, which is in regards to curbs being constructed along the streets along the frontage of a subdivision or land development. The township engineer had no objection to the waiver request, and the second waiver was a partial waiver request from Saldo 191-78-C-2, which is a requirement of Saldo, which requires identification of features within 200 feet of the property.
Okay.
The township engineer had no objection to that waiver request.
Okay. Your drawing looks very nice. I like the walking trails around the property and the landscaping that you're going to add. I'm sure the Shade Tree Commission's happy with that as well. I'll take questions from board members. Ms. Mullen?
No questions.
Mr. Galloway?
No questions.
Mr. Palmer?
No questions.
Mr. Jones, do you have anything to add?
Nothing at this point, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Mr. Takita? Is there any public comment needed?
No public comment online.
All right, this is Resolution 2022-17. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Next, we have item number 6, Shades of Green Landscaping, 80 MY Lane. This is just a conceptual discussion. We're not approving anything. We're not voting on anything. He's just going to bring us forward and show us what he would like to do down on MY Lane.
Good evening. Thanks for having me tonight. My name is Michael Donardo, and I am a landscape and tree service contractor in the township. And in my business, we generate a lot of green waste, and it's a exuberant problem. This green waste is not going away. In the past, it ends up in landfills and mulch yards, but it's very expensive and creates a lot of pollution to create mulch and turn that green waste into mulch. So there's a new technology, and it's a slow, controlled burn. So instead of grinding mulch and creating mulch, we'd actually be burning the green waste, specifically wood products, wood waste, brush, And at the end, we can reduce this waste by as much as 90%. So if you put in 100 tons of green waste, at the end of the burn, you may have 10 tons or less of usable material that could then be used as a soil amendment for carbon filtration. It's used for a lot of, specifically in industries, a lot of uses. So it's a big problem in the township. It's a big problem all over the place, and I just want to talk about that and see if you guys wouldn't mind seeing having something like that in the township.
So 80 MY Lane, this is in a, you know, if you go down, for those that aren't aware, if you go down Lower Morrisville Road, where the bridge, there's a tunnel that goes under the bridge, that's MY Lane, and it leads back to the Falls Catering is back there.
Correct.
You can see it from Route 1 Superhighway usually.
Correct.
So you're gonna be back there somewhere?
Yep, so you'd be making a left at the catering hall, and there's an empty parcel behind the catering hall. It's vacant right now, just flat.
Okay. And what's the byproduct of this burn?
So it's a product called biochar, which is basically like a charcoal, almost like an ash/charcoal product.
Okay. But is there smoke?
Not much, very little. So there's an air curtain. I did include 2 videos, and I handed out some stuff. Well, I don't know if you could pull. Yeah, air curtain would be perfect. Thank you. So there's an air curtain that actually is a manifold that, I'll let the video do the talking.
The holes in the shells, which that's our revenue source, but we also get the dirt and the sticks. Dirt is going to composting and other things. Sticks have remained a large problem without cogeneration for the sticks to go to. We have 2 years of sticks that we have not been able to do anything with, and so it's a great benefit to have the air burner being able to be utilized at this time of year to start whittling away at that large pile. The easiest way to describe the air burner is, in the appearance of it, it looks like a roll-off trash bin. It's very well constructed, has I think 3-inch ceramic concrete type of panels inside of it that will withstand high levels of heat. Then it has a small fan on it with an air duct going across the top edge of the box. When we put the sticks in it, light it on fire, then the air from the fan blows, keeps a curtain of air over the top of the box, which keeps pushing the particulate matter, ash, that kind of thing back down into the fire. It sounds like a big blowtorch when the fan's going on it, and it is very clean. If it wasn't for seeing the flame and the heat waves, you know, from a distance, you wouldn't even know that it was operating. And the thing that I like about the burner is that it really is a permanent solution to the problem. You got a 98% reduction in the material by burning it, and 2% ash left over, and getting the ash in a form that can be then used or, you know, put out on fields, whatever, is where we're really after.
So basically, you asked about smoke. Once you have a fire starter, there's a manifold that's going to blow air down onto the fire. It's going to prevent smoke particles from actually escaping. And smoke, as you all know, is just unburned fuel. So that smoke will get a secondary burn, and then it's gone. So when you do load the machine, you're going to break that curtain, so you will get some smoke, but then ultimately as whatever debris falls through that curtain, it hits the pile, then that curtain is sealed again.
Huh.
There's another video. There's a yard close by in Jamison and in Doylestown, and they are using these pieces of equipment. So
Oh,
if
yeah?
you want to see the next piece, yes, it's local. So
Interesting technology.
yeah, it's a short video.
Sure, go ahead. If you brought it, we can see it.
Thanks.
My husband started Jeff Sparks Excavating back in 1976. He only had about 2 or 3 people working for him then. We started in the topsoil business, screening topsoil. And right now we have about 28 people working. 11 of them are family members. My husband's 2 brothers, my brother, 5 of our nieces, nephews all work for us.
We try to stay relevant with matching demand of the different material and trends in the area. We supply to landscapers as well as homeowners. We have compost, stone, sand, topsoil, mulch. Sparks Industries created a partner company called Sparks Environmental. Our mission with Sparks Environmental is to create a new, innovative way to recycle organic material.
Biochar is a charcoal-like substance produced from any organic material, whether it's logs, brush, wood chips, farming fodder, extra material. Our process, the machine behind us, the carbonizer, burns up 15 tons of wood an hour. You put any wood debris and it burns all the impurities out of it. We'll burn 30 tons of logs and we get 3,000 pounds worth at a ton and a half out. When we grind mulch, we'll put 30,000 pounds of material through a grinder and you get 30,000 pounds out the back. This, 30,000 in, you get 3,000 out. Reduces it by 90%. It gives you a purpose for waste material. Biggest benefit to biochar production is ammonia control, fertilization, water retention, soil remediation, say if an oil spill, you can spread this out, it will absorb that material over time, just like it would nutrients, and then later dispose of it. It actually reduces emissions by 99%. So the machine only burns roughly 3 gallons of diesel an hour, and the main thing is you're taking the carbon in the wood, instead of letting it rot and decay, escaping into the air over time, such as a mulching process, you're essentially burning off all volatiles, leaving you with pure carbon with a 1,000-year shelf life that can be used across multiple industries. It's essentially a carbon neutral or carbon negative process. Overall, we'd like to sell it in bulk, whether it's 2-yard stacks to a fertilizing company or golf courses, landscapers. We're in the testing stage in a lot of different areas, but we would like to get it out to the consumer.
15,000 tons an hour, is that what he said?
15 tons.
15 tons an hour.
tons, yeah.
Okay. Where's your business now? Is it on Pennsylvania Avenue?
1777
And you don't
South
want to do this
Pennsylvania.
down there?
Not enough space.
Not enough space?
No, it's too
All right.
small. Close to the road. Back here on 80 MY Lane, I mean, you have the train tracks.
Right.
You have the
You have the
ramp
train
from
yard
13
there.
off the
Yeah.
Route 1. There's essentially no neighbors, no residential
What would
house.
you do, I guess you'd had taken into consideration, just in case you'd have some kind of fire protection there, like water or something?
Well, yeah, I think, we have to do some further investigation. There is a fire hydrant on the property, but, if you guys would allow this, obviously we'll do some wells and have some fire suppression systems in place and ready to go.
It's an interesting technology. I mean, I guess for something like this, it's not a terrible location. I'm sure you'll get a lot of pushback from residents that are concerned about pollution and stuff, so you'll hear from them if you move forward. Any questions from board members? Ms. Mullen?
Yes, hi.
Hi.
Thanks for bringing this. This is impressive. I just have a question. Is this like you would do one or the other, either the carbonator or the firebox?
Correct.
Okay. And we talked about the air curtain for the firebox. What makes the carbonator environmentally friendly?
So they both have that same
Same air
manifold, correct. The carbonator, basically the difference is as the ash and charcoal are created, they actually fall into the bottom of the unit. And they kind of fall into a water bath. And if you saw, there was an image where this thing was turning. It's basically a conveyor pulling out the wet biochar.
Okay.
With the other unit, you kind of just leave the material on there, let it sit overnight. The following day, you open the door, you actually clean it out with a piece of equipment, and then push the stuff into a pile. Where with the carbonator, the machine can be moved to each pile, so it's on tracks, where the other one was not. And the carbonator, it has water pumping into it. So,
Thank you. And you mentioned Jamison and Doylestown, they're using the firebox?
I believe they're using the carbonator.
Carbonator. Do you
Yeah.
know anywhere, have you seen the firebox in action?
Just videos that upstate Pennsylvania, there's quite a few of them. I'm supposed to go take a look at them, but again, I wanted to get your blessing on it first.
So nobody around here is doing this, you would be the
I'd be
leader on
the only
this.
one, correct.
That's great, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
My screen still shows the computer screen, but Mr. Galloway, do you have any questions or comments?
No, it's really interesting. I'll be looking into it in the future, and encourage you to come back, and we'll see how it goes.
Mr. Palmer?
Same here. I definitely want to look into this and learn a little bit more about it and talk to some professionals and see what we have.
Anything for you, Mr. Takita? Now, I imagine you'll have a bigger operation than just this firebox. You're going to get trucks bringing stuff in and trucks taking
The
stuff
debris out, yeah.
The debris
Okay.
out.
But I mean, it's not going to be a full-scale mulch operation where
Okay.
whatever comes in, the same amount's going out. So
Yeah,
it's going to
'cause
be
we have,
smaller.
Whatchamacallit right there too, which is always a problem with his mulch. Well, it hasn't been a problem in a long time, I shouldn't say that. He's had fire problems down there.
Yeah. Well, I
It's
mean,
been a
it's,
while, though.
you know, mulch spontaneously combusts.
Yeah.
This stuff doesn't. And there's not going to be mulching going on, so the chance of spontaneous
You're not
combustion.
going to have mountains of stuff, debris.
No, absolutely not. I actually have a rep, Mike Schmidt from Airburner.
Okay.
He's on here if we could. When you guys are ready for him, maybe he can answer any questions or give us a small narrative of
I mean,
the equipment.
I'm not opposed to this. I think it's a good location for it, for something like this.
Okay, thank you.
I know you're going to get pushback from people that have environmental concerns because they are, legitimate. But other than that, I think it's not a terrible idea.
Well, I think environmentally, I mean, there's really no major concern. There's going to be a lot less pollution, a lot less
Right.
diesel fuel burning, a lot less noise, a lot less trucks going in and out.
Yeah.
It's minimal equipment required, minimal employees required, and like I said, the amount that we're reducing the volume is great. You know,
And like you said, that location there, you're right in the corner of the Morrisville rail yard throat and the Route 1 superhighway ramp. So
Correct.
any noise is going to be drowned out by the train yard.
Correct. Or the highway, all
Yeah.
the noise that's going on there now.
All right, well, thank you.
Cool. Can I have Mike say anything, or do you
Sure,
have
if
any
he
questions
wants
for
to.
Mike? He is.
Yeah, go ahead.
Great. Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm the Director of Sales for Airburners. And long story short, our biggest state that we sell to is California. All over on FEMA's website, we're known as the BACT, the Best Available Control Technology, which basically means this machine is the least expensive way to get rid of unwanted wood waste and also environmentally the cleanest way to get rid of unwanted wood waste compared to grinding and hauling, compared to composting, and of course, compared to open burning. About 40% of our sales are municipalities across the country. And then Army Corps of Engineers, we currently have a CRADA agreement, a Cooperative Research and Development Act with the U.S. Forest Service. As mentioned earlier, biochar, the U.S. Forest Service wants to put more biochar around the forest floor as it's able to reduce water retention by up to 40%. So you can contact me at any time to ask any questions. I'll introduce you to other municipalities, other cities, whoever you would like to see. We have a book of customers that we can point you in the right direction. Thank you.
All right, so what did you say about FEMA does with these?
Yes, so when EPA tested our machines about 15 years ago, they ran tests on the SOx, the NOx, the PM2.5 VOCs. And so FEMA has us down as the BACT, as in every state and every air quality, it's done on a case-by-case basis. So, but FEMA has us down as the best available control technology for disaster cleanup. So we're based out of Florida, where we have a 100,000 square foot manufacturing site where we've been for 25 years. And then every time that you hear about hurricanes or tornadoes or something like that, similar type of disaster on the news, our machines are there to clean it up. And so, but the thing is, you never hear about our machines because they're designed to burn clean. So they can be in your neighbor's backyard, but you won't know that it's getting rid of your 13 tons an hour of wood waste.
And you say you saw a lot of them in California?
Yeah, we have about over 100 plus machines. California Parks just purchased a few more machines, about 12. They've owned machines back in 2000 and 2001. You saw the video earlier, that was a huller. So that was actually Blue Diamond, who manufactures the almonds. And they burn all the sticks that are left over from the almonds. So between the agricultural, the vineyard industry, to Cal Fire, to Cal Parks, to private individuals all over the state, they utilize them.
Impressive. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna help your cause, but yeah, I think it's a good idea. I think it's a good plan.
Thank you. I think it's time for something like this around here.
Yeah.
You know, can't just keep making.
And it'll
mulch.
be exclusively used for use by your business.
Well, my business, I mean, ultimately, I'd like to
Open up
to the public, and again, small scale. We're not looking to get those huge companies that are going to the mulch yard, but you know, other small contractors, potentially even homeowners, looking to get rid of stuff and not take it to the landfill or put it in the trash, which is really worse. The worst thing you can do. we're running out of landfill space, so.
Landfill, that's cash for us.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Put it in a landfill, we get paid.
All right. We'll take some biochar
I'm only
to
kidding.
landfill now.
That was a joke. All right, thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much.
Yep.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Mike. I'll talk to you. Thank you very
Thank you.
much. Any, that's it? Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks. Have a good night. All right. Item 7, consider approval of the health benefits program rate renewal. Mr. Takita.
The board's being asked to consider the approval of the health benefits program for the township. Our current annual premium is $3,100,899.36. The estimated annual renewal premium will be $3,193,923.12. This is an estimated percent increase of 3%. Chris Yvonne is here if you have any questions regarding specifics on this.
So it's basically the same plan, just a 3% increase.
That's correct.
Okay. Any questions from board members? Ms. Mullen?
Just co-pays. Are co-pays increasing?
No, this is the same plan that we have currently.
Okay.
All that stuff is negotiated, so. Mr. Galloway?
No questions.
Mr. Palmer?
I did notice that their increase in mental health services, which I believe is a plus. So it's a little bit more for the 5%. That's all I have.
All right, and I have none. Is there any public comment needed?
No public comment.
All right. Is there a motion to renew the health care at the rate of $3,193,923.12? And that's a 3% increase.
So moved.
Chairman, if you could hang on this one.
Am I hanging on?
Yes, sir. What number agenda item do you have this as?
And then number 7.
No public comment.
Okay, so a motion was made. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Mr. Galloway, can you poll the board, please?
Yes. Aaron Mullen.
Yes.
John Palmer.
Yes.
Jeff Boraski. Jeff Dents.
Yes.
And I am yes.
All right, thank you. That takes us to item number 8, consider agreement from Campbell Durrant PC. Ooh, I'm sorry. Item number 8, consider agreement from Campbell Durrant PC to provide labor and employment legal services as investigative counsel for confidential personnel. Any questions from board members? Ms. Mullen?
No.
Mr. Galloway?
No questions.
Mr. Palmer?
Question.
Mr. Palmer?
No questions.
All right, and I have none. Is there any public comment needed?
No public comment.
All right, is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Item number 9, we're going to table. Item number 10, do I have to make a motion to table that, or we can just move on? Okay, item number 10, consider escrow release requests.
The board is being asked to consider the release of the following escrows. MM Metals USA LLC on 1 Mile Lane. It's an escrow release in the amount of $149,136.32 from the letter of credit. The other project is Wawa. There's 3 different Wawa projects. They would be bond releases, one in the amount of $3,049. The next, $383.98. The last is $18,134.78. Jones Engineering has reviewed these projects, and they are completed to their satisfaction.
All right, any questions from Mr. Jones or Mr. Takita? Ms. Mullen?
No.
Mr. Galloway?
No questions.
Mr. Palmer?
No question.
All right, again, this isn't our money. This is money that we hold in escrow from developers. until their projects are to a point where Mr. Jones is satisfied that we can release. Is there a motion then to approve all?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Can you poll the board, Mr. Galloway?
Yes. Aaron Mullen,
Yes.
John Palmer,
Yes.
Jeff Boraski, Jeff Dents,
Yes.
and Brian Galloway is a yes.
All right. Item 11, consider bid for the sale of township surplus vehicles. Township 2002 F-550 was relisted on municipal bid due to the original buyer non-compliance of the auction terms. The current auction ended May 3rd with a high bid of $4,900 to Mr., well, I won't say his name. The appraised value of this truck is $7,000 to $8,000. We can approve this tonight. The sale was almost $5,000. Is there any questions or comments from board members, Ms. Mullen?
Do we know what the bid was that was non-compliant?
Yes, we do. I don't have that number in front of me, though, unfortunately.
Okay. Do we know if it was higher than the 4,900?
I don't want to guess at that.
Okay,
Anything else?
not for me.
Mr. Galloway?
No questions.
Mr. Palmer?
No questions.
And I have no questions. Is there a motion to approve the sale of this vehicle for $4,900?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Item number 12. A resolution designating Christopher Iacona as the open records officer for the Falls Township Police Department. Why do we need to do this, Ms. Gallagher?
This is, the police department maintains its own right to know officer, and so this is just an administrative change on the police side, designating Christopher Iacono as the right to know officer.
Okay, that's pretty straightforward. And we do this by resolution. Any questions, Ms. Mullen?
No.
Mr. Galloway?
No.
Mr. Palmer? And I have none. Is there any public comment needed?
No public comment.
Is there a motion, resolution number 22-18, correct?
Correct.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Item 13, consider resolution for the sewage facilities planning module for GSP management. All right, you're going to have to explain this one, Mr. Takita, or Mr. Jones, one of you. Or
How
Ms.
about-
Gallagher.
How about me?
Sure.
So this is a project that is related to one of the mobile home communities in the township. They are installing a public sanitary sewer. So items 13 and 14 are both related to the project. Item 13 is the DEP planning module resolution, which is fairly standard. Mr. Jones can explain any specifics related to the project if there's questions. Item 14 is an operation and maintenance agreement because there is a force main and a pump station that will remain in private hands, and that ensures that the township has the ability but not the obligation to go onto the property if there are any repairs necessary for the force main or the pumping station.
All right, this is very complicated. Any questions from board members, Ms. Mullen?
No.
Mr. Galloway?
No questions.
Mr. Palmer?
No questions.
And I have none. Is there any public comment needed?
No public comment.
And this is a resolution?
Number 13 is a resolution, yes.
So this is 22-19. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. This is probably equally as interesting as number 14. Consider sanitary sewer maintenance agreements between GSP Management and Falls Township. Who's going to do this one?
And that's the agreement that gives the township the ability but not the obligation to make any repairs to the
All right,
system.
and this is not a resolution, this is just approving this.
Correct.
Any questions? Ms. Mullen?
No.
Mr. Galloway?
No.
Mr. Palmer?
No questions.
And I have none. Is there any public comment needed on this one?
Yes, we have Dan.
Okay.
Dan, public comment?
Yeah, I don't have any comments. Thanks.
Thanks.
Okay.
All right, is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Item 15, consider proposal for additional work for the Pinewood Pool. So this is $9,914. This is going to add the coping and tile around the entire pool or part of the pool, I assume?
Yeah, this estimate is for repairs to the substrate.
Okay.
Once they opened up, as they were doing the repairs to retile, they ran into this problem, and the cost to make the repair is $9,914.
Okay, pretty straightforward. Any questions from board members? Ms. Mullen?
No, thank
Mr.
you.
Galloway? You're muted.
Sorry, my dog was barking. No question.
Mr. Palmer?
Question, yeah, is this gonna be, done before opening day?
If we hurry up and approve this,
Yes.
Brian is online.
yes
Yeah.
is Mrs. Answer.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Any public comment needed for this one?
No public comment?
None. All right, so $9,914 to fix the tile and coping. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Can you poll the board, Mr. Galloway?
Yes. Aaron Mullen,
Yes.
John Palmer,
Yes.
Jeff Brasky, Jeff Dance,
Yes.
and Brian Galloway is yes.
All right. That takes us to item 16, minutes. It's just the three of us. So what are we going to do here? We can't approve these tonight, right?
If three of you are of a mind to vote in favor of them, then you can approve them tonight. If there are not three votes tonight because of absences, then you can table them to the next meeting.
All right, I assume that you guys didn't watch the video and see to read the minutes, right? I'll make a motion to table.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor? Aye. All right, we'll fix that next meeting. Engineers report, Mr. Jones. He's in Florida, but he's not vacationing. He's down there for some engineering conference, which is the opposite of fun, I'm sure.
Absolutely correct, and I can actually fact check Mr. DiNardo because I'm with FEMA this week. So. Anyway, the month of April's report shows that we had 4, and I apologize for my appearance, but I'm going to advertise my Disney symbol. 4 new earth disturbances and 1 new land development submitted during the month of April. As usual, the highlights are identified in red. I'll touch base on a few of them. The Tavo packaging project is mostly complete. We're waiting for lawn restoration. That project will be off to report next month, successfully completed. The North Point Phase 1 Building 1 amended final approval that was granted. That project's now in the development agreement phase and will go under construction very soon. The Lincoln Storage Project continues. We're still waiting to approve their retaining wall shop drawings. We haven't gotten a complete package, but they continue to do foundation work. So the project's moving forward. Phase 1 Building 3, that project has been under construction, and they're working on underground utilities, shutoffs, and trying to reroute most of the existing utilities to accommodate their new design. The Raising Cane's projects, foundations and site work ongoing. The Levittown Car Wash project, good news on that. We're in the land development agreement phase, so that will be under construction soon as well. North Point Phase 2, Building 4, again, land development agreement phase under construction soon. And the wastewater treatment plant building addition will be at the PC next month, as well as the new land development that was submitted. In terms of the earth disturbances, they're mostly all pools. All of them have either been approved or under construction, with the exception of the last 2 earth disturbances. They are continuing to be under review. For the township projects, the 2021 road program Elderberry Drive continues with sidewalks and aprons. We are still targeting an April completion. The Rice Drive Culvert project will be back before the board next month, asking for authorization to advertise. So that project is 80 to 85% complete. Will be complete with full PS&E by next meeting. And the 2 newer projects, the later road program and the township building renovations, have been initiated, preliminary work being done.
All right. Only question I have is about the Rice Drive culvert. That'll be finished by the next meeting, 100%?
Yes. Plan inspection estimates will be going out to bid. We'll be asking for authorization to advertise. And as usual, it's usually a few days after the board meeting when we get the advertisement placed.
Oh, so we're not under construction yet?
No, I'm sorry. Just to go out to bid for it.
Oh, okay. That's what I was not clear. All right, thank you. Any questions for Mr. Jones and his engineer's report? Ms. Mullen?
No, thank you.
Mr. Galloway?
No questions.
Mr. Palmer?
No questions.
And I have no questions. All right, thank you, Mr. Jones.
Thank you.
That takes us to item 18, the bill list. We have a bill list in the amount of $2,842,195.55. Any questions or comments from board members? Ms. Mullen?
No questions or comments.
Mr. Galloway?
No questions.
Mr. Palmer?
No questions.
And I have none. Is there any public comment needed?
No public comment.
All right, is there a motion to pay the bills?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Mr. Galloway, can you poll the board?
Aaron Mullen,
Yes.
John Palmer,
Yes.
Jeff Boraski, Jeff Dents,
Yeah, I'm a yes.
and Brian Galloway is yes.
You are Brian Galloway.
Yes.
Item 19 is our executive session. Ms. Gallagher.
The board did meet in executive session earlier this evening to discuss items of potential litigation and personnel.
All right, that takes us to we have a police report here. I guess we can put this, oh no, we don't have a police report, do we? I'm sorry. All right, so that's going to take us to item number 21. Am I out of order here? Manager comment. You have any comment, Mr.?
No comments.
Takita? All right. Item 22, board comment.
Wait, well, could I make a motion to appoint someone to the board?
Sure. Right now, it's board comment, so it's your turn.
Okay, I would please like.
If we
Hold on.
want to appoint somebody, we'd have to put it on the agenda for next month.
Oh, why is it here in my packet?
What, to make a board and commissions?
Yes, if we're going to take action on any items, it has to be on the agenda in advance of the meeting.
All right.
Is that something new?
There was an amendment to the Sunshine Act, maybe about 6 months ago, that changed that requirement.
Oh, I apologize. I didn't know that.
Good thing Lauren's here.
So I asked Mr. Takita to not have that on our agenda.
Correct.
I guess you can put that back on our agenda.
Well, yeah, it's not listed on the agenda. We do provide the
Yeah.
list in your packet for your review. Anything that does need, that you want to vote on, that would have to be put on the agenda.
All right, so I guess moving forward, let's put that back on the agenda.
Yes.
I apologize.
That's okay, thank you.
Is that it?
No, board comment?
Yes.
I just want to remind everyone that tomorrow's election day. It's the primary in Pennsylvania. And I wanted to remind everyone to vote. That's all.
Mr. Galloway, you have anything?
No comment tonight, thank you.
Mr. Palmer?
No comment.
The only thing I'm going to put out there is, starting next month, we're going to accept public comment in person only. We're not going to be taking the phone calls, and this is something that most townships are doing now, right, Ms. Gallagher?
That's correct.
And also, it went from cold out and now it's summer. It's going to be in the 90s this week, so we missed out on spring. But, just be careful driving around, because there are a lot of kids just running around in the streets, and everybody's out there on their bikes, which is a good thing. So just be careful as you're out and about and around town. And with that, I'm going to ask for a motion to adjourn.
Second.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.